Welcome to Live Action Star Wars. I'm James.
I'm Ralph.
And we are here to talk about the end of Andor. It's a lot.
Or a new beginning.
Or a new beginning. We'll get into it. We can't do it alone. There's too much to talk about. So, as scheduled, we have with us Mr. Eddie Pence. Doing a season finale for a change. But
usually we have Eddie. We have Eddie in here at the beginning of every season, and we have no idea what his thoughts are on any of it.
Yeah,
right. Moving forward.
But as everyone's had such a good time with this season, we couldn't not invite them back. So with us as well, returning from last week, we've got Patrick Cotnoir and Jacob Fullerton and Adam Frazier. Everyone's here. The gang is all here. This is like our all-star cast.
Jacob trying to get his little Morse code machine out of the wall.
I'm just fixing up the old stabilizers. I had a hammer on my desk.
We talk about it every time that we have any of us on, but we do just have like the different levels of beard going around the room. It's great.
Like a Russian nesting doll of facial hair.
We start with Adam,
back
and then
of
we
a Just
up
for Men box.
It's the most unpleasant Animorphs cover.
I couldn't think of a paler group of people on YouTube talking about Star Wars that actually like Star Wars. So here, it's great. I'm so happy that everyone's here, and I can't wait to hear what you all thought about the show in general and these 3 episodes. Let's start with Eddie.
Can I say something real quick? All week, ever since James went and said, "Hey, we're gonna get everybody back," I'm like, "Okay, it's gonna be a lot of people." Stevie has been so excited. Good. She keeps saying, "I'm so excited for live action Star Wars. This is like the first week this whole Andor season that I don't have a meeting at 9 a.m, and she is in the front room laughing at everything that everyone's saying. So I'm getting instant feedback.
So Stevie's in the other room laughing. Liz and baby India downstairs probably just groaning and going, "Oh God, look at these guys."
A bunch of neckbeards that like Star Wars.
Yeah, and Damon Lindelof is back with us again in the comments.
Damon is.
Oh, thank you, Damon.
I mean, it's a good sign that my wife, when we were watching it, this is the most she's ever just talked to me about Star Wars without me starting the conversation.
Guys, I like
go in and over-explain whatever she brings up.
Whenever it come up in conversation before, Liz was like, "I don't like Rogue One. I really don't enjoy it." We got to the end of the episodes the other night, and she was like, "Can we watch Rogue One now?" And I was like, "Absolutely, let's go."
Who put on Rogue One immediately after?
I watched the first 10 minutes. Yeah,
I watched.
Who put on Rebels season 3, episode 18, right after episode 9?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Have to check that out.
There's a tonal shift. We talked about that one last week, but like, wow, Ralph thinks
put on Ewok Adventures after episode 1.
Don't make it.
Still, the darkest scene in Star Wars was in the second Ewoks movie.
What a weird decision.
We're not here. If anyone is curious about our Ewoks coverage, you can go back in the feed. Like, we've got an episode on that. You can find it. It's our most viewed episode is one of our Ewoks episodes. Weirdly.
Because you know why?
I know exactly why.
We talked about it the same length as the runtime, and so people think it's the show.
Ewoks movie.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They stick with it long enough for us to get the credit, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Eddie, what did you think of season 2 of Andor?
It's incredible to me that you get 2 of the best seasons of not just Star Wars, but probably television off of a paragraph of an opening scroll. It's just, it's insane. My only complaint is they needed to have name tags on because I that was my only complaint of this whole show is like it took me 2 watchings of every show to realize who was named who because the names are so forgettable that you don't know who you're following the whole time. It took me until episode 7 to go, okay, Deidre, okay, Deidre, whatever her name is. Okay, I got it. But other than that, it's I've never seen a show where it's just like even all the way up till who's the old dude with the mullet who's in charge of the white? He offs himself.
Leo Partagaz.
Partagaz, whatever. He needs a name tag, but like when he's sitting there at the end and they go in, and what I love about this is you're just not hit over the head with nostalgia the way Dave Filoni hits you over the head with nostalgia or with Star Wars stuff. And I love Dave Filoni stuff too, but this was just like they just mentioned, like when he comes in, he's like, yeah, they're waiting for you, and you know who they are. You know that's Palpatine and Vader are waiting to see him because he's failed. And he's like, okay, he's like, let me just gather my thoughts. He's like,
I'm fucked.
Right. And his friend goes, I got you. Don't worry. I'll go out there. You do what you have to do.
Yeah, he doesn't want to gather his thoughts. He wants to scatter his thoughts on the back wall.
Right. And his buddy knows that. And he's like, we've seen what happens before when they want to see you to other people. And it's just like, it's just the subtlety of it without being hit over the head with everything that I loved about everything.
Dedra down. Like he's the same thing. Like he knows exactly what's coming.
Everyone's expendable. You see how expendable Krennic is in the next movie. Like, and he's the top dog here.
Yeah, he goes from being like really scary in these episodes, and like that interrogation scene is incredible, to like 20 minutes into Rogue One, and he's a bitch. Like he's as soon as the next person up the ladder shows up.
As soon as he sees Tarkin, he's the little bitch. It's just, I mean, it's just.
This show is basically the opening of The Dark Knight, with all the Jokers just being like, oh, I'm supposed to kill you. It's like that. But also on the rebellion side, it's the same thing where it's like, if one person doesn't do this tiny little thing, then the Death Star
all falls apart. If Lonnie is the hero, Lonnie's the hero of the rebellion.
Absolutely.
Right.
That bench needs a plaque on it. Like here,
it really
lies Lonnie Chung, hero of the rebellion.
Lonnie's the hero, because if he doesn't go on his own to just start going through Deidre's computer, like we never find out about the Death Star, and it's over.
This is the best case for the Force. Like, this is basically what the Force is like
it's destiny.
The universe and working together in destiny, and all these small pieces coming together as one, like little midichlorians coming together to create
for someone who for Tony Gilroy, who absolutely seems to hate the idea of the Force and Star Wars in general, he made the most perfect representation of the Force in a Star Wars product.
Did anyone else read that Rolling Stone interview that he did this week after these episodes came out?
Oh, not yet.
It's good. It's worth the read. And the questions are sort of probing him, and they're just like, so about the Force, and he's like, yeah, I included it, and it. In his response there, it very much felt like he was like, I wanted it. Like it was basically, it was too convenient for Cassian to be in all the right places at all the right time. It was too TV convenient, and I needed a way of writing around that. And we're in Star Wars. We've got the Force, so why not just make it the Force? And it's like, it gives people who love that stuff something to latch onto. And he's like, yeah, and I think we earned it. It doesn't feel cheap in this show. It feels earned.
From the moment the Force healer calls him the messenger, you're like, no, he is the messenger.
That's exactly what he is.
He's the one who delivers the message of a new hope to Luke.
I mean, one of the most interesting character journeys over all of Andor truly is Tony Gilroy's relationship with Star Wars, I feel like. Because if you look at like him at the first celebration, he's like, I don't fucking care about any of you. You know what I mean? Like, he does not care. He does not want to be there. And now he's like, I don't know. I used the Force healer. It was really cool. We brought her to Yavin 4.
And it's all about hope. Star Wars is about hope. Like,
I mean, episode 1, season 1 starts in a brothel and he murders 2 people, and now we're at Yavin talking about the Force at the end of season 2. It's just.
I think it was an Empire article where he was like, they asked about like, how was the first season doing the show? And he's like, I wish I didn't do it. He's like, at the time, I regretted it. I'm like, I'm going to be doing this for 15 years. This is a huge mistake. COVID's happening right now.
The dude dealt with a lot, like between COVID and then the strikes, like he was making this show at the worst possible time, and it's more of a testament to how incredible it came out.
Yeah, it sounds like he
there was a celebration where he was sitting like he was like doing an interview with Anthony Carboni or something, and he was surrounded by all the fans, and they started chanting "One Way Out." All of them just started chanting "One Way Out," and the look on his face, you can see him like be like, oh, I guess Star Wars is kind of cool. I guess this is what I'm doing. Like this thing that I've been agonizing over for however many years.
Why
like
Celebration's great.
It's like, oh, like I get it now. You
Yeah.
could see his face. You could see like just utter surprise in his face. Like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't think. Like, yeah, there are Star Wars fans, and I get to actually like hang out.
It's not. It's not a hot take, but it's. I think his reluctance to be involved is what makes him so perfect for it. And it's like he is the creative
Han Solo.
behind Star Wars that we. Yeah, exactly. He's the Han Solo of it. He's too cool for it.
Yeah.
He's too good, and like even now, he's given it like in the rest of that interview, they're like, "So anything gonna tempt you back? Like, could we get a season 3?" And he's like, "No, I'm like this show made me the best writer I've ever been, and now I want to go and write and direct some stuff again. Like, I feel like I've got to the point where I'm so much better than I was before this show, and you guys seem to like me then, so I'm gonna go do my own thing for as long as I can." So. Basically, we need him to crash out for like 2 movies, and then he'll come back to Star Wars.
Season 3 starts with 30 ABY.
Yeah, AB by 30. Yeah, because they flip it, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's Andor Jr. Like,
And he's getting the plans
Played
for
by
Star
Diego
Killer
Luna.
Base.
Oh, cool. Whoa.
I don't want it. I don't want them to ever touch these guys again.
But can you imagine like we finally get like the Bothans and stuff? Make it. Oh, I guess that's too soon.
I mean,
There's only like 6 years later.
Really like to see something happen with this will it or won't it happen Rogue Squadron project in development where maybe we say, hey, maybe this should be a sequel, in a way, and make it the story of the second Death Star, because we have Clea out there, we have Vale out there, we have Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma out there. Like, there is a story to tell.
Wellman's out there.
Willman's out there.
Yeah.
Even Dedra's out there.
So
there's pieces left from Andor that we could pick up again, and even if Tony Gilroy isn't going to spearhead it, like Dan Gilroy and that whole creative team is there, and I'd love to see them do more work, especially in that era. We know they're building. They're like building a new Admiral Akbar for one of Dave Filoni's things, right?
Oh, so Ahsoka season 2.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Oh.
So get Akbar in there, put a fake beard on a guy, and get General Madine in there. I mean,
yeah.
Hell
Madine's one of those people like Mon Mothma that you can absolutely just recast and no one's going to give a shit.
Yeah. Get some prune faces in there.
Prune faces. More with prune faces.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So, Adam, when you were on, you were saying how there's not enough like main aliens in the show. They're not enough like aliens, but thoughts on the old lady alien in
the granny.
Old lady alien in the space wheelchair was the all-star of the Andor season 2.
So has she come directly from the beach at Neamos? Did she like get sunburned and then had to be like transported? But...
Yeah, must have been. There was also an alien that's walking by in a like gown with its tail hanging out, which was
I saw that guy.
Yeah.
Well, we got Radis back.
I was going to say, Patrick, as soon as I saw Radis, I was thinking of you, Patrick.
I was very excited for Radis.
He looked great.
Yeah, maybe that means we'll get a Black Series now. That's all I can ask.
Ooh.
I just want it.
I want it.
Yeah.
I love how he had no idea who Clea was and couldn't have cared less either.
Yeah. The name drop of Merrick and Dodonna was nice. It was a nice way of like having them acknowledged but not actually be there, so that it's not.
Yeah, but it also felt like he could have been like, Merrick and Dodonna are coming tomorrow. They have scheduling issues like that.
Yeah. Like, he's shooting Rings of Power right now, and he looked 10 years older.
Yeah, they should have cast Merrick and Dodonna with Ben Bratt as well.
Is all of them?
Oh my god,
he's every missing character.
Before we get too far away from Ben Bratt, when he's wearing the costume from Rogue One that he is in this, and he's like, arms don't move.
Look like a straitjacket.
He looked like. Did anyone play the original Oddworld game on the PlayStation?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
like the Mudokons, like not the Mudokons, like not the good guys, the bad guys that run the factory in that.
Yeah,
like where they don't have arms. That's exactly what I was thinking of the whole time that I was seeing that.
It looked like somebody zipped him up in a sleeping bag.
Like he didn't have arms.
It looks like my kid when we put him down in a little grow bag thing.
Yeah, like walking around with like arms straight under that cape.
Also, while we're talking about that council scene, Senator Noah Jebel, the biggest dipshit of Star Wars. I'm glad that he could make a return from Rogue.
Yeah, they brought 2 of them back. That was great to see.
Just the biggest Debbie Downer there is.
We had one of the extras from Rogue One on the podcast a while ago. The guy who you can hear say "Let the girl speak" in that scene, and part of me was just like, did they give him a call? Is he going to be walking around in the background anywhere? Because my God, would he have been waiting by that phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they brought back like some other obscure people, like the comms officer and stuff like that. It's almost like they went through the Rolodex and anyone they could find that was available, they went, yeah, cool, come on back, dude.
But they had to, because this takes place like the same day.
Yeah, like
I was almost more excited for the comms officer than I was for Radis, because Radis felt like a given. You know, I was like, we're gonna get Radis, no question. Yeah. But then when he showed up, I was like, I think I pumped my fist, if I remember.
They did it.
I was pumping my fist through that whole montage, including even when Perrin was drunk on.
Oh my God, Perrin with his earrings as well, like
with Davos Skuldoon's wife.
Yeah, Davos's wife, just drinking in the back of the car, like, and he's got his ears pierced. It's like, dude,
it's like a walk of shame.
Bad couple of times. There was an article on Screen Rant that I read today that there was a scene written. I don't think they ever shot it, but they had it written that Mon, when she escapes the Senate, goes to Chandrila and meets up with Perrin, and basically is there to tell him, you have to look after our daughter now. I'm off. And in that scene, he reveals to her, he's like, yeah, they've been interrogating me every single week, and I've lied to them every single week. I know what you've been doing, and I'm cool with it. Like, I don't have that fight in me, but I'm cool with you doing it. And it's it's one of those scenes that they said, like, we wrote that, and it would have completely changed everyone's perspective on Perrin. Yeah. But
I don't like that.
We didn't really want to do it at that point, so they didn't bother doing it. But
I was fine with how they left Perrin.
I was fine with how they left it, but it's interesting that they had thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I think if we didn't see him at all, we wouldn't have noticed. But I think it was a fun, like,
it was nice. It was a nice surprise to check back in, like the way that they cut from Mon. Like, obviously she's living in the jungle, but she's happy. She's happy where she is. She feels like she can be herself, and she's having breakfast with the troops and with her cousin.
I love that.
To cut away. That. So good. That's why she's
like
the
a nice
leader.
Little wrap up too, because it's like, you know, this whole show is about like all these people that are part of this whole thing in big and small ways. So just seeing everyone that we've seen, just to kind of like, you know, nice little bow on this beautiful TV show.
Yeah, it was good, and the way it was cut between like the walk to camera as well, it was excellent.
Yeah, something that I was
crying the whole time.
Yeah,
this whole series is like, I feel like, especially with the second season, there's so many characters that I saw more as just like minor side characters in the first season that really, really got to shine in the second season. Like little characters like Erskine, like Mon Mothma's aide, like he was only in like a couple episodes, but I was like, I love this guy.
He's great. I was sad that he wasn't in this block. Like I was waiting to see him like bumming around Yavin, like commanding people.
Lots of Lonnie, even like some of the bad guys, like a Legret,
and who
ended up on top in the end somehow.
Yeah, he's the only one who survived.
Name tag for that one.
Right?
Legret.
I need name tags for all these people.
I learned their names in these episodes, and it's pretty amazing because you recognize them, you know who they are, but
that's the
names aren't
loser guy.
I learned Legret's name 8 seconds ago.
There you go. And now you want a Black Series of him.
How did everyone feel about Dedra's ultimate fate?
It's so good, but at the same time, it's like, it's with her character. The one line in this that changed the whole character for me was the fact that she grew up in an Imperial kinder care, whatever it was.
Kinderblock.
Like, this is how she was raised. Yeah. This is the only life she knows, and it completely betrayed her. And it's like, and it's none of it her fault.
She never had a choice.
She does her job. No, she does her job. She does it really well, and she just got fucking thrown under the bus. And what's so amazing about that is I didn't think we'd go back to the prison planet again, but to have that whole story arc come back just in that one shot and know exactly what her life is going to be like for probably ever. I saw someone online
Well, until
say
the
that,
Empire falls, and then they're going to release all those people.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Is she be part of the First Order? Is she Hux's mom?
So
she's going to be sold into slavery.
Adam and Jacob, you're sicko book readers like me. Like I was saying back in season 1 that she reminded me of Isard from the old X-Wing books.
Yeah.
Now with her being in this prison and like could potentially come back, like reminds me of Admiral Darla. Like, you know, if they wanted to bring her back as like some former Imperial, now like all savaged by being in prison and is just even more evil, like they could bring her back if they wanted to, just age her up a bit.
Dala Detra, same amount of letters.
Yeah.
I do. I hope she never comes back. I like her just being like rotting in this place, especially because like in that same conversation where she talked about the Kinderblock, she talked about how her parents were criminals. I'm like, oh, that little seed was planted, so this is even more perfect.
I was half expecting to see her step off her bunk when the lights went out.
You get a double suicide in the finale.
It wouldn't have surprised me at all. The way that this show's gone.
Themselves.
I mean, that would have been 3 suicides in these 3 episodes, or 3 suicide attempts at least. Because, like, Luthen went out that way too, or his attempt.
I loved Krennic interrogating her and just forcibly.
Yeah, can we talk about the head?
Brutal.
And the sound of his glove hitting her skull was very.
I'm gonna send a photo that I saw on Twitter. It was a piece of fan art. I just sent it.
Do you want to present it? You could present it if you like.
Yeah, it does.
All right, let me hang on. Let me get it up on.
There was that and they said it was improvised by Ben Mendelsohn, which what kind of a brain
sicko
thinks to do that?
Her reactions like look so genuine too. Oh, let's see this.
Holy shit! That's good.
Oh my god. That's what I want, Ralph. I mean, goofy aliens in serious Star Wars. That fan artist understands what I want.
Yeah,
I mean that's someone's like back piece tattoo waiting to happen, right?
Yeah. The head fluke, like I was like, that had to have been improvised because, like, could you imagine, like in the script, it's like Krennic pokes her on the top of the head.
I really hope that it was improvised, but they had a conversation beforehand, because otherwise,
I'm gonna
that's
poke you on the top of the head.
Uncomfortable.
That he like grabs her head,
Yeah.
puts her back in the chair. Yeah. That scene was like Ben Mendelsohn. He's a scene stealer.
He's
something else. But when the scenes that he did have, he made count.
Yeah, I loved.
I see him in interviews. Real quick, I see him in interviews, and he always seems very, very amped up.
Yeah,
he's very amped up in interviews.
Man,
he must be drinking a lot of Monster Energy drinks because he seems really amped up.
I worked an event pre-COVID, so I guess that was 6 years ago, and he was there, and I will tell you that assertion that Ralph just made feels very correct. That was the vibe that I had.
Okay.
During the interrogation, when Galen Erso's name gets brought into it, and his demeanor sort of changed, it takes this much more somber kind of feeling.
Yeah, you're talking about his boyfriend there.
Yeah, and knowing that he's basically going to go have Galen's wife killed and his daughter hunted down in like a week is pretty wild.
I mean,
it would have already happened.
Like that would have been like.
Right. Flashback.
That was the worst part about rewatching Rogue One. I'm like, I don't need to see this Krennic Galen Erso stuff. Get right to where Andor is on the Rings of Kafrene. Like,
so
that's all I was like.
So Andor's had the odd flashback and stuff, but I thought it was really clever the way that they did them in these 3 episodes, where we had obviously the stuff with Claire and Luthen was intercut, but then that dream that Cassian's having of his sister, and to see that, like, it's a trauma dream, and then you go from that to Jyn having a trauma dream in Rogue One, and it's like it's just a nice handoff of like filmmaking style to go like, no, look, we can do this, and it just goes one into the next. It
was also clever. Like, hey, we didn't forget about Andor's sister. We just throw that in real quick.
Yeah.
So want to hear the dumb thing I thought?
Baze calling Jyn little sister in Rogue One, and how now, I think we talked about this previously. A lot of people wanted a more romantic, maybe relationship between Cassian and Jyn, and maybe it's suggested, or maybe it's more about what could have been. But I think now when you watch Rogue One and you get to the end there, you realize he sort of found a connection, like in finding his sister again in Jyn.
Someone, or just like he's worked with a lot of other strong women throughout these 5 years. Like he's been around plenty of it. It's like it's almost just that sign of respect and we're all fucked. Let's hug on the beach. Like I'd hug anyone on the beach if I knew that we were all about to die.
Yeah.
No,
going back to the Luthen flashback, getting a little a real glimpse into him and Clea's relationship was really cool, because early on in the first season, like Clea, I was like, oh, they're just a couple of rebels. They do this weird art gallery thing together. But seeing how intimate it actually was, and it was like a weird messed up father-daughter thing almost.
Yeah.
Was very fun.
The line,
young looking Stellan.
She looks so much like Newt when she's in that thing.
Yeah, with the hair and stuff.
I was just like, the Imperials mostly come out at night. Mostly.
It also gave Luthen some humanity that we haven't seen.
Yeah. He was breaking down. Like he was
him sitting there like begging for it to stop. I was like, oh man,
it's like Tom Hanks,
this isn't a moment that someone else is supposed to be. Yeah, you're not supposed to be witnessing this at all. It's like a weird. I shouldn't be here. Let this guy melt down.
To know that Clea's probably the only person who's ever seen him like that that's the vulnerability that he's shown to her, and he knows that she's aware of it. That's why when he sort of is spinning out in the office later on, and he's like losing it, it's like we've got too many plates spinning. It's like he can say that to her. He can open up to her like that, but to everyone else, he's got to be a stone cold killer.
And I like how their solution for making Stellan Skarsgård look 20 years younger is to give him weird, almost 90s ska band hair.
It was great.
Yeah, that humanity was really nice, because this is the same episode where we saw him put Lonnie down.
Yeah.
And
we've had his whole
monologue and stuff about how he has to be an awful individual.
I predicted last week that Lonnie would be the one to put Luthen down, but I didn't think it was going to go this way.
When I think of that, though, I think of basically, really, Luthen is providing Lonnie a mercy, because if the Empire gets a hold of him, they're going to hook him up to a mind flayer or whatever, and absolutely torture him and get all of that info.
Well, Luthen also knows he's leveraged because he has a wife and daughter, so he is leveraged.
Yeah.
So he has to be done away with.
And he seems even colder when you think about it, because it's he keeps Lonnie hopeful this whole time, but that he knew that Lonnie was never going to make it out of this alive.
Oh yeah.
I think we all thought that, right? In that first elevator scene in season 1, when he goes down there, it's that guy's not going back up that elevator, is he? And then he does, but that's oh no, that asset is in place and he is integral. And every arc this season, Lonnie has, even if he's not been on screen, he's fed some intelligence, or he's been integral to the plot.
He's the hero, man. He's the hero.
Good Lonnie season.
Quite quiet hero of this season, definitely. Without him,
I think of the first three episode arc, the first 3, he's not in it, and we were saying man, we want Lonnie, and it's crazy how little screen time we get with him. But the impact is so
kind of
big.
Each other ISB character, they all kind of got some fun screen time. Mon Mothma's escape, we got Legret just being incompetent, and then Heert was big in this last 3 episodes.
Yeah,
getting the shit kicked out of him,
getting used as a shield.
I thought it said his name was Piet.
I heard the same. I heard a Piet at first, and I was like, oh no, maybe not. But he looks so much like Tarkin that it's headcanon that he's a nephew of Tarkin.
People talk to me
looks like
who's got a Tarkin face?
Yeah.
Episode
episode 3 Tarkin.
We were just in one of our videos. We pulled up a picture
insult
of him,
that you can give to someone, isn't it?
just a close up of that monster face that he has. It's so good.
He looks like the rat guy from Nightbreed. He looks real weird.
Shit on this actor.
It's
no, it's makeup. It's definitely makeup. I'll bring it. I'll look it up while you guys chat.
Ralph, that guy's on Lost, Ralph.
Was
Who
he?
does he play on Lost?
He's the healer. He's the healer that or the psychic that Claire goes to.
The
Oh my god.
the guy
Really?
from
Farscape.
the guy from the what do you call that? Is the Tombstone Pizza guy?
The Tombstone Pizza guy.
Yeah, he was in Lost.
I don't know who that is.
He was in
Nick
Lost. Hold on.
Jameson.
It's this guy Wayne
Played-
Pysum. He was Isaac of Uluru. Ralph, come on, Ralph.
Oh, dude, I spent 3.5 years on Lost.
I know
Everybody
exactly
go,
who you mean.
please,
but-
please go rent and Getting Lost, a movie that I produced.
And I have 2 lines.
I'm
in.
so
Run, go see
you,
my
you have 2 lines.
Yeah.
You have 2 lines.
Oh
There
my
he
god.
is.
That's
Looks like
makeup.
the
Famous
looks like
monsters
the
of
Tim
Film
Robinson.
Man
There's
version.
too much fucking shit on me.
He looks crazy, but he doesn't. In 2025, you could make that work.
Yeah,
You know
he was
what I
far
mean?
away in the movie.
Far away. The only thing that's weird, I think, is that his head is too fucking big. That's the whole in that movie. He looks
mean,
like a
that's-
bobblehead.
And his,
Like,
his
that's-
cheekbones are in his forehead.
That's my problem with Tarkin
That's
in
crazy.
Rogue One. I don't care about the CG. I just think he's too tall. And I know
It
that
looks
they
like the
went on.
Punisher symbol with skin on his face.
He's on the back of cop cars everywhere.
Eamon Lindelof has a good comment in the chat. The last one.
Oh.
Dehydrated Odo from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Good to know he's a
Uh,
Farscape guy. Glad to hear about that.
That's
That's a new
great.
development.
What other characters have we not touched on yet? Because there's so
K2.
many. K2.
Ah,
So everyone was like, I watched Alex on Star Wars Explains review, and he was saying how he wished that there had been more K2 in the season and everything like that. I'm fine with the amount that we got. I don't really need or want more. It doesn't fit the tone of the show. I liked, again, having a bit of levity in there was nice because it bridged into Rogue One where he is there and he does provide that. And the scenes that we got of him and Melshi and Cassian like in their treehouse just hanging out playing cards and stuff were really cool.
It's been a passage of time. It's been a year.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think
but
I think if you
like-
get K2 through the whole series, that episode 11 doesn't hit the way it hits.
yeah.
When he walks through and just takes out that entire garrison of
Noise.
troops.
I think
don't
his
think-
humor
and I-
runs dry as well. I think it's just like okay, cool, we get it. Like he's a bit anxious.
I thought the same
but-
thing too. I was like, okay, we're not getting K2 until the end. I was like, this show needed some. I thought the show needed some levity going through, and then by the time I got to the end, I'm like, no, it didn't. It didn't need
No.
any of that.
Not that.
And
yeah.
then this is the perfect
The,
amount of K2SO.
Speaking of the levity, like, we had K2. There's a scene where they're like drinking and playing games with K2SO. It's great. Like, it made me think about the levity in this show because like it's a dark, sometimes very bleak show, especially with like everything that happened on Gorman and stuff. But it made me think about the levity because that, like, we got the little granny in the hospital. Like, it's a pretty dark.
Weirdly,
show,
the
but
funniest
it makes
episode.
it makes all those little moments of levity like so potent.
Mhm.
I think that like even just the little
The
goofs
idiots
between
at the beginning of
Melshi
the season on
Yeah.
Yavin, like it's
I saw an interview with Tony Gilroy. I don't remember where. I might have been Seth Meyers, where he was talking about casting his son.
Yeah.
And he said he needed an idiot, and he called those dudes on Yavin a group of idiots. And I was so. I felt so happy that it's like wasn't just me so frustrated at those fucking morons that
Yeah,
I was
they're
like,
intended
okay,
to be.
good.
Yeah, they were
They're
frustrated.
intended to be, and Tony Gilroy thought it was hilarious to make his son the leader of the idiots. Was perfect.
I wanted to comment on the levity as well because I think thematically it's really interesting how, we commonly refer to this section of time in Star Wars as the dark times.
Mm.
And Andor season 1 really showed how dark it can get. And throughout this
Yeah.
season, it got progressively darker until this last arc where it's now blending into the tone of Rogue One that will then blend
Yeah.
into the tone of A New Hope. Like we're literally the show ending with Bix and her kid is very much like Andor's version of the Revenge of the Sith ending. You know, it's a new hope. You know, that's happening.
It's the end of Rogue One as well. It's the what did they give you? Hope. It's ending on the same note, but I think in a more weirdly, having a baby is a more subtle way of doing it than Rogue One literally saying hope.
Yeah. There's a moment in the episode 10 where it's really dark. There's Clea's witnessing an execution in the streets, something we've seen in all kinds of war movies and stuff like that, and we know it's going to cut away because of Star Wars. We know it's going to cut away before we see the execution, and when they do that, it's stormtrooper blaster sounds, and it's like, fuck, like, does this change like regular 1977 Star Wars? Like, it's so brutal where I'm like, so now when I see stormtroopers shooting, like, that sound in my head is going to be like tied to this crazy moment.
Massacre. Yeah.
It's such a weird thing. And same, I mentioned in the Gorman Massacre was like, here's this very realistic look at a rebellion rising up and this massacre happening, but then you hear stormtrooper sounds that I've heard for the last 48 years, and it's like it feels gross. It feels so gross that you're hearing the classic Ben Burt Flash Gordon-y laser blast sounds.
He gives you
murdering innocent people.
We always saw stormtroopers from the perspective of the rebellion and Jedi or Luke, and like this is you're seeing the perspective of stormtroopers from people below them, from the people, the civilians that were ruled by these people. So it's a much different view of the stormtroopers than what we're used to seeing.
But I guess it happened with Owen and Beru.
Yeah,
but it's still that didn't feel like this though.
It's because we didn't see it. Like, I think if we'd stuck around and like we'd cut back to Owen and Beru saying, "No, Luke's not here. Those droids, we didn't buy those droids. What are you talking about?" And then we saw them get executed. It might have felt a bit different.
Well, Obi-Wan also says only stormtroopers are so precise with their shots, and then we see through 3 movies that they're not precise, and then Andor, they're very precise with their shots.
A lot of plot
so
armor.
it's like, is the Force manipulating the stormtrooper shots throughout the original trilogy?
That's
the
destiny. That's the same
that's
thing.
The destiny part of
that's
it.
That's what kept Cassian alive. You know.
There is also the element that the stormtroopers that Kenobi is referencing, he thinks are perhaps the clones that he served with, who were sort of, made to do.
Yeah, he's thinking about like Cody and those guys. Yeah,
they're not these weird guys from the finale where, like, the leader of this, like they're wearing stormtrooper armor but not helmets. I think they're called like Comp Force or something.
Comp Force?
Something like that. Yeah, the special forces on there.
The leader looked like Sam Rockwell if he took the super soldier serum. Like, he just had this
big mustache.
They look like characters from like Call of Duty, Star Wars Warfare.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I like the mustache.
I'm looking him up because I'm pretty sure he's the dude.
He was a big guy too.
He was very big, yeah.
I mean,
he's the dude from Hot Fuzz.
Oh, okay.
That says Yarp.
Oh, what, the Hound from Game of Thrones? No, it can't be him. He's replacing what's his name in Ahsoka season 2.
Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
He's doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
Well, he looked like that guy.
Yeah.
While they were going up, like, just imagining them finally getting to that floor and seeing that it's like a shithole, and they're like, "Well, this has to be it."
Yeah, it's like tarps on everything.
Yeah, there was no like leakage through their apartment into the really nice one below. Like, there's a well-made building. They've let that floor go to shit, but it's well-made building.
When they were on their way up that building, like, I was just thinking about it, just like, dang, this whole show, both seasons, it ramps up tension so well. Whenever it needs to build up, it just nails it. My heart's pounding.
I would have taken an expansion of that scene and just like reskinned the raid into like that episode. Like, just have the raid, but in that Coruscant building. That'd be great. And then bring back Kanji Club as well. Like, Kanji Club could be there. And...
Kanji Club.
Tail that to Kanji Club.
That'd be great.
What about K2SO talking about the parade that had all of the KX units in it, and that the Emperor was
And
dead.
yeah, it's the way he says it. Is like I like that it starts off like almost poking fun at Melshi. He's like, Melshi's never been to Carson. You look at this,
Yeah.
look at this country bumpkin out here. Like,
Dude, but listen, like Melshi looking out the window at Coruscant in like wonder, like I felt so happy for him.
yeah,
He was who knows how long he was in that prison. You guys probably
dead in like
do.
2 days.
But yeah, he's like out and about, and it's like Anakin. I've never seen like the whole planet is one big city.
K2SO, like I love how he's recalling it like a fond memory. He's like, I was in this awesome parade. The Emperor was there.
It's really
Even though he's been
interesting,
reprogrammed, like he's still like fond.
he's got his memories. He knows what he did. Like, he probably remembers massacring people on Gorman, which is fucked up.
Cassian, I threw that lady so far. Her back snapped when she hit the ground, Cassian.
He was your friend.
Yeah. Would you like me to do it again? Yeah, like it picks up Jin. Cassian, I don't like her.
Yeah, he bodies Jin at the beginning. I forgot about that when I watched it.
I was reading the StarWars.com like recap of the latest episodes, and
nerd.
I had thought this while watching it, but I wasn't 100% sure. But I saw in the StarWars.com article that they confirmed that the planet that Clea and Luthenon are on in the flashback, like when he presses the button and blows up those transports, is Naboo.
Love that.
Yeah.
So I love that, like, we're going back to Palpatine's home planet.
I was gonna say, do you think that he did that because he was like, "Fuck it, let's go and mess up something from the Emperor's homeworld"?
Yeah.
What's
And it
that-
also
Maybe.
kind of
The
a
bridge-
nice.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just kind of a nice connection back to like what we know is now the finale of Return of the Jedi with the special edition. By throwing Naboo back in there, you sort of continue that connective tissue.
It'd have been good to see some Gungans pop out of the water and jump over the bridge like Free Willy.
There was a
Yeah,
Gungan
in the
skull.
background.
I was
There
going
was
to
a
say,
Gungan
there
skull
is a
in
Gungan
Luthen's
skull.
shop.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah,
this.
with
Really?
the Naboo headdress, there's a skull, and it seems to have like the Starforge symbol from KOTOR.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it
Embedded
not?
It has
into
like
it?
some sort of design on it.
Is it a Gungan or is it like the Ratakan?
Oh, it's a Gungan. It's like straight up a Gungan.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
shit.
The
Okay, I'm
little
looking at
head
it now. I'll
things
bring
and
it up.
stuff.
Bring it up, bring it up.
Like that's pretty fucked up.
Is that
but
Captain
all right.
Tarples?
I hope so.
Gotta.
Was the bridge that they blew up the bridge that they bring her body across?
It sort of
Ooh.
looked like it. Was,
Oh,
I think it was the same.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
architecture,
Yeah.
But that was like a
Those
big
teeth.
city shot, and this seemed like more off
Yeah.
in the countryside somewhere. But yeah, definitely that's what
Similar
gave me that
architectural
feeling.
styles, I'm
Mm.
sure.
Mhm.
Definitely Lake Como.
The skull
Yeah.
kind of looks like a battle droid head.
I mean,
It's like poetry.
poetry.
Shit.
That's why George did it.
What a night what that quote has become.
I fucking
Oh
hate
my
it.
God.
It's so overplayed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show like it's so easy to do that when it comes to like retreading the same story
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah. What do we think about Bale and how much of a dick he was to Cassian, like all the way through?
Can I just tell you one thing though? When he said, "May the Force be with you," I teared up. And I
Great.
don't, it's like there's certain things that are like Star Wars-y that will hit me every time. Like for some reason, it's like Radis. When Radis says, "May the Force be with you," that's like the first time I ever like really like cried at like Star Wars. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a, the statement is like, we've been watching this whole thing and haven't,
well, like for
I don't know.
most
It's
of,
just,
most of the time when you hear from the rebellion or the people in the alliance say "May the Force be with you," like have they ever seen the Force? But like Bale knows about it, so when he's saying it, he's like, "No, it's real."
Like my friends, like my guys are like,
Yeah,
and
I've been there. It's real.
again,
but
book,
also
book stuff.
like,
The Alex Freed book, The Reign of the Empire, that's just coming out. Like you're getting a Bail Organa perspective, Mon Mothma perspective, and Saw Gerrera, and you're getting like three ways into the rebellion, and you've got Bail and Mon don't see eye to eye at that point, and she's going like full political. Saw's coming at it full guerrilla, and Bail's just like his whole thing is just trying to protect the Jedi survivors that are out there, because he's got friends, and he knows that like with the connection
But
with
also,
Leia and
he's
everything,
still in
like
the Senate.
that's his.
He's
thing.
still in the Senate. He's like, hey, everyone, just be cool.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing I like about him saying, "May the Force be with you," is like we just learned that Cassian is not a fucking believer in the Force, and the only thing that scared him was this Force healer. Like, even though they don't say his shoulder got healed, he knows it did.
Yeah.
He didn't
There's
say it
something.
did. He knows it did, and there's something to it, and that scares him. So by Bale saying that to him, like, it just like creates this sort of new mindset of who Cassian is going into Rogue One.
Yeah.
Like he's just got to do whatever it is to do. Like he's just got to do whatever it takes to get whatever job done. That he's like whatever missions he's on, he just has to go with it and trust in the Force. And it's so not like something that he would do. But I love that, like, just that line in this is so great. But then it's the last thing that Cassian hears from Radis before he explodes. So it's almost like this thing. It's like a little tiny "May the Force be with you" arc for Cassian, and like it's showing that this is his true calling. So by Radis saying "May the Force be with you," it's like.
Does he hear that? I thought was that not Radis giving that to the rest of the fleet because the comms were shut off. I can't remember. I didn't watch.
He says it to Rogue One. He says like,
Rogue One, "May the Force be with you,"
yeah.
And it's almost like saying it's almost like saying like, this is it. This is what the Force was guiding you to do, and he.
This is where you're supposed to
be. The way this was written into this last story arc was so perfect for that moment.
It's the relay. I don't know how it's the relay of all of it. Like
I don't understand how
it's.
I could never write anything like that. It's insane.
Cassian comes to the realization at the end of this, like I think he understands his purpose in what's happening because he says to Bix, my only trick here is I'm lucky. I've overplayed my hand. So he knows and then when Jyn Erso says in Rogue One before they go on Scarif, we're going to keep going and take our chances until we run out of chances. It's like they know that they're just part of a larger thing happening, and it should at some point it's going to run out, but we just keep going until it does. And it seems like that clicks with him.
That's the hope punk like mentality of that entire movie. Yeah.
And just
I hope that the last thing I hear. Go ahead. Oh no, I was going to say something stupid.
That's why we're here.
I was going to say that,
Jake,
also
I want you to say it because I think I agree with you. Can you just say what you were going to say really quick, Jake?
I was going to say, I hope that when I die, the last thing I hear is somebody talking like this.
I was just going to say the last thing.
Jacob, may the Force be with you. Thanks, Fishman.
So what we've discovered is that Jacob and Patrick need to have a suicide pact with each other.
Need to? We already do, guys.
Oh my god.
I hope your journey to the afterlife is smooth, Patrick. Goodbye.
And then you hear a bang and someone holds off some stormtroopers.
He just slips on a stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah. Boys, I gotta go. But good show, good episodes. You're all very nice. Thank you for not being dumb beard boys on the internet.
Thanks for joining us, Patrick. We'll see you for the next one.
Bye.
I was going to say that, the idea of the Force healer being introduced and saying that Cassian is the messenger, and then expanding upon that to go through Rogue One, him and Jyn being at the top of that satellite tower or whatever, and actually transmitting the message and fulfilling that arc. Like when she sees him during the montage at the end, like she realizes he's going to deliver the message. Like that's what he's doing right now. So I just loved all that. And I thought it was just such a clever way to work all that in, because it mirrors also what we see in Rogue One when Chirrut sort of senses Jyn in the marketplace. We get to see that continued out.
And is it just Jyn that he's sensing it, or is it Jyn and Cassian now? Like if he's picking up on both of them, because he can feel Cassian. Like later on, he asked, but he's like, does he look like a killer? Like he knows he can feel something with Cassian.
He has the face of a friend. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. There's something there. It's very, very good. It's very well done. It's interesting thinking about Rogue One in the context of this, and when we put it on, like they did the pre-roll ad for Andor, and I was like, they shouldn't have this as a available now. They should just have this as a previously on. Like, just run that ad, but as a previously on, and just have like the ad for Andor. But thinking about that and just having it as the Andor show, but like these 3 episodes guest stars are Jin, Beige, Chirrut, and Bodhi. Like that could be a way of thinking about that movie now.
Watching I kind of got that feeling because I was like, I see Cassian and I see Jin. I'm like, I like that guy. That guy's my favorite guy.
I don't have any problems with Jin. I think she's good. I think it's well done. But like there is an argument to be made that you could not even recut in terms of taking things out, but you could just sort of slightly re-edit the movie in like schedule, like in just ordering of things so that it really plays as Cassian being the lead.
It's the show made me so fond of him, so I figured that was just going to be a byproduct of it. Yeah. And he's in the movie so much. So
he is. He's like as much the lead.
Missing anything? Yeah. He's there.
I got real excited. Feels like I got real excited in episode 12 when I started seeing all the Rogue One haircuts. Like everyone looked different.
Cassian had his Rogue One haircut.
I mean, I feel bad for Genevieve O'Reilly because she went from having like this awesome hair all the way through the entire show to be like, you got to do it.
That was the final thing she lost in the build up to the rebellion.
That was the real sacrifice. Screw the daughter, screw the husband, screw the Senate job. Like she's got to lose the hair.
Yeah. What have I sacrificed?
When she's in the forest,
she's finally given up everything.
When she's sitting in the forest eating with just the plebes, that's probably where she's getting her haircut from. Also,
yes, buzz cut.
Made my head a hairless space.
Yeah, she's camp. I don't think.
She has the exact same. She has the exact same outfit all the way through Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, they don't have.
Just a blanket.
Gave up her wardrobe.
Yeah. But I mean, like, where other characters can go and like sneak into places, she can't. She's so public facing that like she has to be the one who is smuggled off of Yavin before the battle goes on, just in case it goes badly. Like she's the protected like person. Like she's the face. She's the leader, really. Yeah. Especially after Bail goes. Like it's her because no one likes those other senators.
Every time they were walking through the jungle in Yavin, I kept waiting for that monster to pop out that we were supposed to see.
That thing was cool.
We only saw it for like one shot. It could have popped up at any moment.
Every time they're walking through the jungle, I'm like, oh, is this where they're going to kill it? I just
like to see it like chained up behind Cassian's, chained up behind Cassian's treehouse, like as a pet or something. Have K2 going out there like putting a bowl out for it.
When all the troopers were running behind Melshi, I was looking to see if any of the idiots from the first story arc were there, but I didn't catch
survive.
I was looking for them too. I did think it wasn't because I had to pause it and go back and check. But when Draven confronts the U-wing when they land getting back from Coruscant, there's a guy with long hair, and I was like, "Is that Sam from Gorman? Did Sam get off? The guy who killed?"
I was probably expecting someone from Gorman to show up as well, but
yeah. I really think if he'd got there and like Vel had seen him, she'd have been like, "Look, I've made my peace. I've drank my way through it for a year, but I'm still going to put a bullet in you."
She's going to feed him to the monster.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get Lord Gullet's origins. That's sad. We didn't see the Rings of Catherine again or Tivik.
We had mention of both of those.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They kept talking about Tivik, and my wife was like, "Who's Tivik?" I'm like, we'll see it in the movie.
He's got some gloves. He's got some gloves.
He's got some gloves. He can't climb his arm.
I'm falling apart.
It was really interesting watching
the jungle.
Watching the Tivik scene.
Some Rogue One freaks.
Go on, Jacob.
Like when they were running through the jungle, I saw some of the weird like alien freaks that were with them in the Rogue
One
finale. Pal, the big mouth guy.
Bistan, is it? Pal? Yeah.
Bistan,
yeah. The Tivik scene in Rogue One plays so much better, I think, now because he's getting the information and Cassian's taking all the information, but as soon as he says Urso, like Cassian's like, bang, Galen Urso. He's like, that's the confirmation that he needs, that everything that he's just heard is like, no, this isn't just Claire spinning out. This is confirmation. Like, this is a second source. I can run with the story now.
And to go back to the kind of the tonal shifts between Andor, Rogue One, Star Wars, like I think a lot of people when they saw Rogue One, they felt that it was fairly dark or serious in comparison to the other Star Wars we had at the time. And also I think Cassian coming right out of the gate and shooting a guy, quote unquote, in cold blood, even though people may connect that back to Han Solo pre-special editions. Like, I think a lot of people were like, I don't know what to do with this guy. Like, he's a rebel. He's a good guy.
Like it. Yeah.
But he just killed a guy. And so I think some people have weird feelings around Rogue One because of that. But now with all of this context from Andor, you come right into Rogue One and you completely understand why he would do what he does. And
turns out he did that all the time.
Yeah, he's Luthen's guy. Like, he's willing to burn an asset whenever it's necessary.
Like I think in Rogue One, without all this context, watching him like potentially pull the trigger on Galen Erso on Edu, you're like, I don't know, this feels a little extreme. Like, maybe just like believe Jin, but like knowing everything now that we know through Andor, it's like, oh no, he almost pulled the trigger on Dedra Miro, and as far as he's concerned, Galen Erso is an Imperial, so
he's 0-2 when it comes to sniping missions.
Yeah. Poor guy. Can't catch a break.
Dedra got taken care of though, so he didn't have to.
Yeah.
Just looking down the list, I sort of made a list of all the named characters. Draven, nice to see. Draven's just angry, but I like that he came around, and by the end of the show, he's like, no, Cassian's a good asset, we should use him. And that sort of feeds into the fact that come Rogue One, he's willing to be like, come here, I've got a side quest for you. Like, keep this one quiet. This one's off the books. But basically, it's him going, okay, Luthen's not here to tell you to do the hard stuff anymore, but it's still worth doing. And I liked him in this, where after the scene when they're trying to talk to Saw and convince Saw that they're like, we're all on the same page here, like, no one's spying on you. He's like, well, actually we are. We have been for a while. Like,
that Saw conversation was great. It's like, you're on Jeddah. No, I'm not.
I love that he's just been huffing Rhydonium for a year straight.
Again, when you see him now with the mask and you know what he's doing there, it's like, God, the guy's just a junkie. Like,
yeah, he's having fun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Do we have any more thoughts on the series? I mean, we've been going for an hour.
I think Luthen would have had his place rigged a little better to blow.
I was surprised that they didn't blow the apartment, or the shop. Yeah,
his shop. As soon as he saw Dedra, I don't think he would have left it the chance to stab himself and pour acid on the machine. I felt like he would have rigged that place to explode.
That was my
only. It's a minor thing, but I think he would have.
Maybe they did, and if he'd sent Claire, or if Claire had been the one there, she would have poked her head out, seen who it was, and just hit boom, and the whole place would have gone up. But Luthen being Luthen, it's like, I gotta have this conversation with her.
That's what fucked them both. That's what fucked both Dedra and Luthen was they decided, oh, we're so theatrical, we need to do this, and it's like they both fucked it up.
Love that conversation.
It also had one of my favorite lines in these last 3 episodes when she's like, "Is everything here real?" And he's like, "There's 2 items of questionable provenance in the gallery." So I was like, "Oh, this
so
dialogue."
Good. Every single back and forth that they had, they were like, just, I know who you are. I know who you are. And his like snipe that is like, she's figured it out now after 5 years. He's like, I've known who you are all along. Like, I've known that you're chasing me. It's so good. And then it coming back to the Star Path, it's just very, very, very good. Very good.
And then she says, "You disgust me." It's like there's a whole galaxy ready to disgust you. It was great. Great dialogue.
Good.
Brilliant. And then that like leads into the fact that Nemik's manifesto has been put on Space LimeWire. Like, it's out there. People are torrenting the shit out of that.
And Partagas is listening to it and like going back to the idea of this disease that's spreading. and
It's-
how it can't be stopped and all that stuff. I just thought it was so
Yeah.
good. I'm thinking
But really
about
just-
Luthen's shop and all of those artifacts and sort of wondering where they might end up, because we know Palpatine has a thing for collecting all those artifacts, and we know Thrawn is an appreciator of art, and there were Calicories and stuff in Luthen's shop, so just kind of wondering if we might see those again, or if that's where he got them, or whatever.
He's gonna get a gift wrapped Gungan skull.
Wow,
from the Emperor.
watching this show really, really makes you think that like Thrawn was right all along. Like the Death Star is a vanity project that was doomed to fail. There was no way that was gonna work in their favor, and that if they put 10 years of funding and development into the advanced fighters like the TIE Defender or
if they expanded the fleet, if they put all that money and resources into the Imperial fleet,
just more Super Star Destroyers than like the 2 or 3 that they've got.
Yeah.
Like they just put all of that into the fleet and development there, they would have probably won, because they would
That's
have
like another thing I love about the show so much is like the ways that it still can tie to the original trilogy and stuff. It's like Luthen's whole thing was making the Empire overplay their hand, overreact, and do like horrific things. And like, in A New Hope, like the Senate gets dissolved, things are still kind of ramping up, but once the Death Star blows up a whole planet,
they did it to themselves. It's the massacre of the Aldani, of Gorman, of all of these things. Like these are the things that light the fire. Like they are what unite the galaxy in saying, fuck these guys, this isn't right. Like it's brilliant. It's the hubris of the Empire brings them down.
Mimics Manifesto.
Love it.
Came back
Love
up
it
and, like,
so much.
And he tells Cassian authority is fragile, and like that was like so on display with the ISB, and just like one wrong CC'd email.
Yeah.
And Dedra
one leaked chat.
All these tiny little mistakes from everybody, and the ISB just completely ate itself at the end of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the competent people ended up either in prison or dead, and now Legrette's running the show.
So I did a list of people that die within a week, and you've got. This is in no order whatsoever. Luthen, Lonnie, Cassian, K2, Jin, Melshi, Galen, Krennic, Tarkin, Partagaz, Yularen, Saw, Bail, Radis, Obi-Wan, Red, Gold, Blue Squadrons, all of Alderaan, the Death Star workers, most of Jeddah, most of Scarif. Like, that's just to name a few people that die inside of a week. It is amazing. Greedo. It is incredible that like either side,
all those Jawas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the either side, the
Dr.
Empire
Emerson?
or Rebellion. Panda Baba.
My favorite Rogue One characters.
Oh my god! What if Tony Gilroy put him in this? If it's so great.
But like all of those people dying in the space of 1 week, like it's amazing that either side really recovered. Like obviously the Empire's got the infrastructure and the Rebels have got the tenacity to keep going, but really both sides would have just crumbled after all of that, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's
speaking of people who didn't die, thoughts on Vel and Clea?
Yeah.
They seem to be
honestly,
partnering
for
up.
them.
I was expecting a bigger body count at the end of the show, but I was pretty content with how it turned
especially
out.
Willman.
Will's there with his girlfriend.
Willman's gonna die. Like Clea's gonna die. But no, it's just Luthen.
I was
Lonnie.
really glad that Clea lived, and very like her performance was incredible. Like the payoff to her arc and the backstory and everything was great, and the decision to keep her alive, I think, was the right one, because all the like speeches and all the like themes going on throughout Andor of like Luthen knows he's not going to live to see the sunrise, right? Like
Luthen and Cassian burned so that Clea and Bix could see the sunrise.
And literally we see Clea on Yavin watching the sunrise, like, and like Now, where does that put her in the original trilogy? I have no idea. James, like you had the idea that maybe that's her on Hoth, and I love that idea.
Claire is Torrin Farr on Echo Base. I
love that idea.
Yeah. Or just like, even if it's not Torrin Farr herself, like just one of the other comms officers in Echo Base.
Yeah.
Like Captain Rex or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I thought. Like the Captain Rex, like headcanon it is like, if you want to call it that, great. If you want to think of it that way, it does nothing to take away from the story. In either way, but yeah.
Those characters, like her and Vel, they just become part of this whole thing. If we don't see what happens.
Yeah.
Which I'm very content with. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. That's the sort of thing that books can do. Is like, go and tell some side story with those guys during the movies. Like,
and I could like we were saying earlier, I could totally see a book or a comic or whatever, but a story that has Vel and Clea involved with the Bothans, like they're entrenched on that planet, like Gorman or something. Like, to me, that would be super interesting to explore. Great. So
yeah.
Are they
still? I won't read it, but James will tell me about it.
And I'll read it. We'll come back. Adam, you and me did Shadows of the Sith. When that came out, and that added so much to the sequel trilogy. Like, let's get that book and have that add in. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have anything else done. I think I wrote a shitload of notes, but I feel like we covered everything.
I mean, it's such a good show. It's like I tell everyone who hasn't, like, even like I was telling my dad, like, you gotta watch Andor. Yeah. And he's like, oh. All right,
it's so good, and I think too it's going to benefit from, because what's the next thing that comes out for Star Wars? Like Ahsoka season 2?
Yes, it's a while away, isn't it?
Exactly.
TV wise, I think that's it. Yeah.
So
I hope this show ups everybody else's game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what it inspires.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have a break now before anything else, because I think like we've said it before, and I stick by it. Like, I love that there is different flavors of Star Wars for everyone. Like, this is so drastically different to Skeleton Crew, and I really enjoyed Skeleton Crew for what it was. I really enjoyed The Acolyte, and I really enjoyed this show. Like,
so this quote, this message from Twitch, which Twitch always gives like greatest feedback. Says Andor is a million times better than whatever the actual fuck Acolyte tried to be. Acolyte tried to be a YA novel style story. Like, that's it.
They're not trying to be anything related to each other.
Yeah. It's this is probably a TV 17 rating or something. I don't know what Andor would be, but it's definitely made for like a higher than PG-13 crowd.
I think,
but it's
if we take anything away from Andor here, right? Like, this point in time in the story, these characters, yes, they're good, but what really made this show work was the commitment of this creative team with Tony Gilroy, and also their relationship with the story group, and the way they worked with the story group to tell a story that connects but isn't like completely dependent upon everything that's come before. And I really hope that the next Star Wars series that comes along, like, they follow these principles of sort of like quality over quantity. Like, if it takes a long time, so be it, but like, let's really sit down, let's get a big writer's room. I love Dave Filoni, I love all of his contributions to Star Wars, but I could not help but think, like, what happens if the Andor crew is writing Thrawn as a character? Like, that would be an incredible series to explore. Like, what happens if that crew is handling Moff Gideon and that sort of Imperial Remnant era of Star Wars? It would be
the Shadow Council and all of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against Favreau and Filoni, because I love what they've done, but I just think we don't need to be churning this stuff out as much. Like, let's slow down, take our time, and really invest in characters and stories and storytellers. So
it's like they need to cook. Let them cook. Let them marinade.
Alex mentions here is Andor is dark but not graphical lewd, so I think 13 is old enough for this. I think 13 is old enough for it, but it's the maturity of the show. It's like a 13-year-old could absolutely watch this, but I don't know if they get as much out
The
of it.
pacing is pretty
13-year-old can
slow
watch
for a
Mad
13-year-old.
Men.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they'd enjoy it. Like they could absolutely watch
well,
it. But
well, Eddie has a 16-year-old.
there you go.
He
Does
loves
Colton?
it. I mean, but
Okay.
he's always been into this stuff. So he loves Andor. Loves Andor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's
I
hard
mean,
for him to follow. He
you've
asked me.
been-
He was asking me a lot of questions. He's like, "What's going on?" Like, because it's so layered,
Mm.
and you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
watch. Sometimes you have to repeat a scene. You have to go back. And go, okay, what did they say there? Because it's such a dense story. So I had to
Yeah.
explain to him sometimes, but I had to go back and rewatch it a couple times where I could explain it to him.
Yeah.
Because that's how
What I like about the show a
thick the
lot
show
is like
was.
you mentioned the layers is like everything's there. Like if you have a question, you can find the layer where the answer is.
Mm.
Like everything is on screen or spoken by somebody. It's all just there if you want to look for it. And it
It's,
just
it's
adds
all
to
there,
the
but
show
it's
so
like,
much.
and that's the thing. I think it respects
It's
the
not
audience
thrown in your
enough to
face.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
it respects
It's
everyone.
not
It's like,
buried so deep.
You're
either.
gonna go and look for it, and it is there. It's not. Yeah, it's not hidden, but it's textured. It's mature storytelling. It's just really well done.
Ugh. I'm glad that we take this show, just put it up on a shelf.
Mm.
Just got this incredible like prestige TV Star Wars show.
Perfect.
If Tony Gilroy or any of like the crew behind this want to come back and do more in this world with any of these characters, I'm here for it every day of the week. But I don't want like the Cassian and Bix's kid to be like rolled into a spin-off with Jason Syndulla. Like I
I
don't
totally see it happening. but
I
yeah.
could see it happening too, but and like the fact that this and Rebels end in a similar way is, I mean, it's kind of fun because they're similar time frames and they cross over at points. But I don't need those characters to cross.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
it's not that. Show.
We didn't need to see the ghost picking up Mon from Cassian.
No.
That
It would have been
I-
cool.
I would have my only time that I would have been fine with it is when Cassian's walking towards camera at the very end and we're seeing some ships coming and going. If we saw like the ghost coming into land, because we know that it's there in Rogue One. Like if we'd seen it coming into land,
It wouldn't have been out
fine.
of place.
No, absolutely fine, nice little Easter egg, but nothing more than that. Like we didn't need them. Like they handled it really well last week.
I appreciate the restraint a lot.
Yeah. I think that's the key. Like that's what the Favreau Filoni shows for all of their fun. There's not a lot of restraint shown. It's like
No.
if they can do it, they will do it.
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
last
Going
episode
back
of
in-
Book of Boba Fett, where it was just
Yeah.
Star Wars masturbation, which I enjoyed, but it's still it was just a lot at one. It was a bukkake of Star Wars.
They're going to destroy Mos Espa. I've got to save it with my rancor that destroys Mos Espa.
Yeah.
It's Adam's favorite
We have
episode.
the
of TV.
biggest.
I
we have the
enjoyed it.
biggest
I
Boba
enjoyed
Boba
it,
Fett.
but compared to Andor, it's like okay, one is a romantic dinner, the other one is just a bang bus.
Somebody needs to do a
You
cut
know?
of just like side by
I
side, like,
love-
just alternating shots from each show. Just
But here's the
whiplash.
lesson.
Intercut.
Here's the lesson. It's Adam's favorite Star Wars show, I believe, is Book of Boba Fett, or it's up there for you. That's how we should be all taking this stuff. If you hated the Acolyte, fine. Don't
Yeah.
shit on the people that like the Acolyte.
Go watch some-
Like
go-
there's
No,
the Book
Like,
of Boba
if you
Fett
don't like
episode
chocolate,
2 with the Sand
Don't eat
People
chocolate. Yeah.
is one of my favorite Star Wars shows. It's not my favorite show, but it's like, why should I be mad or shit on Adam for liking a Star Wars thing? Because Star Wars things are fucking awesome. I love the Ewok Adventures so much. James does it. You can go watch that on our channel. But it's one of those things where it's like he didn't shit on me.
No,
You know.
no,
I had
that's
a lot
what's
of
great
fun-
about Star
I had-
Wars is you get different flavors. You get the roller coaster of Boba Fett, where it's just a Adventureland, and then you get Andor, where it's like, oh no, this tickles a different part of my brain. It's great. It's all of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite Star Wars shows, Andor and Skeleton Crew. Both of them got brothels in them.
Jacob loves a whorehouse.
I love a Star Wars brothel.
I love that. Yeah.
It's great.
It's so great. Like it's so
Um,
stupid. Let Star Wars be stupid. Let people
Yeah.
enjoy their stupid toys.
And
No
I
matter how stupid you think they are.
Mhm. And yeah, there's a stupid toy for everyone. I think Jacob's about to get his stupid toy out. He's getting Glove of Darth Vader.
Triclops.
That.
These books suck. We just read them
Mini
again.
rigs. Yes. Oh Lord, everybody's breaking stuff out.
Mini rigs need to be in some Filoni show. The boba. Oh my god. The Chewbacca shampoo from
The weirdest
78.
show and tell.
Like, here's the thing. Let me just say, like, again,
As Midge!
don't shit on Star Wars. Oh,
making an
Midge.
appearance.
Hello, Eddie.
Oh my god! Did you leave him in the car on a hot day?
Oh, Eddie, have you never met Minch before? Oh wow!
What Andor you must.
I love
My mid
the
shirt.
stuffing coming out of the mouth.
It's better than some of the things that have come out of his mouth.
Or into it.
Yup.
Man.
Hey Jordan, welcome. First time visiting the channel. Good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Hello, Jordan.
We used to be here every week. Now it'll probably be a while before we're back.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there's a gap now between shows because it lets this breathe. I feel like we need to get through an entire award season so that Star Wars isn't diluted. So that
Are we getting Mandalorian and Grogu next, right? Before Ahsoka, I believe.
I would have thought so. Yeah, that's next May, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a year away.
Cool. Like we'll be back on this channel before then, but like not as regularly as we used to be. But yeah, that's good because give this show all the awards, get it like through to people that aren't interested in Star Wars. Like that's what we need. And just let it sit for a while. Let people sort of ruminate with it.
Sorry, just took a screenshot of Minch's face just all caved in and fucking disgusting. Jesus Christ.
Minch started off as such a clean boy.
Let's do some quick plugs.
I was gonna say,
watching on YouTube, I put everybody's links down in the show info. But let's start with Eddie and work our way to Jacob, who has a fun, exciting Star Wars thing coming up.
Ooh,
it's
nice.
4 days.
You can find me at Eddie Pence on all the socials. Go to eddiepence.com, or you can listen to me on the Ralph Report 5 days a week on patreon.com.
Which I do. I love it. And the Ramble.
And the Ramble with Jerry Rocha. And I have another Not Today with Jen Sturger. I do a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. Adam.
I have absolutely nothing to plug, which is great for me. I'm on Blue Sky and other socials at Poppin' Pizza, which is also the name of a newsletter I write whenever I feel like it about pop culture or whatever interests me. So you can check that out.
Great. Jacob.
And Jacob, what you got? You got something coming up?
Yeah, and then you can find me on the YouTube channel Astro Goblin. There's on my little lower third there's the link. But yeah, next Tuesday we're debuting a Star Wars book club podcast. We're diving into these. We read these, like two of us had read them before. We remember them fondly. So our third had not experienced any Star Wars EU stuff. So we read those. We talk about them. They fucking suck. And on our Patreon, we also do full dramatic readings of the entire book.
Oh my god!
With all the voices and stuff, and our discussions.
So I don't have to listen to. I don't have to read the book.
No, you can listen to us read them.
It's almost live action.
Oh, I didn't realize that part, and I'm on Patreon. Great.
And like they are baffling books. Like I know they're aimed at young adults or children, but I don't know who they're for after reading them.
I remember getting them at a book fair.
Yeah, book fairs, libraries. That's where I read these, and I remember them. I had so much nostalgia for them. But reading them, I was like, "This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare."
They're not good.
Nobody understands any of these characters except for 3PO. That's the only character who's normal.
Am I right in thinking that they're the books that have got Ken in them?
Yeah, they got Ken, the Jedi Prince.
Yeah. Oh, don't spoil it for Ralph. Let Ralph experience.
With like a braided beard.
Yeah, that's Zorba. You're talking about Zorba the Hutt.
Zorba,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm subscribed to Astro Goblin's Patreon, so I am 100% listening to these books.
Yeah,
Suffered good much for them. Anyway, this is great. Talking about Andor has been great with you guys.
And Patrick's left already, but go and follow. Where do people get tickets for the next live read, Ralph? Do you remember?
I think that's sold out, but you can still get
the in-person sold out, but you can get the digital.
Yeah, you could get the digital one. I don't know.
It's like recommend.
It's like stars.
Very funny.
It's like Star Wars livereads.com or something. I don't know what it is, but down below, just go to patrickcotnoir.com. If he doesn't have links on there, then it's not important to him.
And if he doesn't, then our friends at Star Wars Minute do, I'm sure, because they co-host it with Patrick. The Dynasty Typewriter website will have stuff. I will be back talking about tacos at some point when my kid lets me and Liz go and eat tacos, but he's 5 weeks old today and is screaming, so I should probably go and help and be a father. And stuff.
Everyone check out Top 10 Tacos. It's the greatest. I love it because it's a review show about tacos in the UK.
Yeah.
Look, I'll never get to eat these tacos.
Awesome. One time in Spain, we had some Spanish tacos, and they probably should be at number one, but we didn't want to put them at number one because we're rarely gonna get to go back. No, go check it out. Go check out Top 10
Tacos. Such a fun listen because I'm never gonna have these tacos.
They're short little 20-minute episodes.
And I live in Southern California. I'm like,
dude, get rid of your president.
Drive from
Get rid of your president, and then we'll come over and we'll do an entire season of tacos from your place.
Hey, listen,
you want James to be able to go home.
I'm not. And then I guess I'll give my plug. I've been doing Lanterns Live. It's the only live stream show on YouTube completely dedicated to Green Lantern. So
every episode you talk all about Green Lantern, right, Ralph? Every episode
is just Green Lantern. There's there was a Superman trailer that came out this week.
Green Lantern.
It was did you guys see that Superman trailer? It was fucking great. There was a total of 1 second over the course of two shots of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I took those 2 clips, slowed them down, and talked about them for about a half hour.
Nice.
So
you love
if you like Green Lantern, I know Eddie's a fan of Green Lantern. If there's anything you ever want to talk about Green Lantern wise, I do live streams over there. It's been a lot of fun. Yesterday, I was real lazy and spent the day revamping my graphics and logos and stuff. Oh, look, he's got a Simon Bass. That's great.
Look at that.
That's so awesome. And then, So, cool. There was a cheeseburger episode.
Okay.
Hal Jordan. That's great.
I was going to say
there was a cheeseburger episode.
That's what I was referring to.
Okay, yeah. There's an episode where I was like, I do not like this book that I'm covering. I don't want to talk about it. It's not fun. So my friend just got these toys from Wendy's. They're like Muscle Men, but they're DC characters. Eddie, I highly recommend stopping by Wendy's and picking up. They have all kinds of DC characters.
Have to do that.
This is Star Sapphire and John Stewart. That evolved into like a half-hour long conversation about cheeseburgers with the people in the chat. As it should. So check out Absolute Green Lantern issue number 2 review, where I talk about cheeseburgers. So there's that.
Awesome. Ralph and I will probably next podcast over on Invincipod because I don't know. There was a new issue of Battle Beast came out, so we'll probably let's check that out. Let's read that and talk about Battle Beast.
And if any of you guys watch the show Invincible, I highly recommend it. It's a fucking phenomenal show, Eddie. I think you would love it. You and Colton sit down, watch Invincible. You'll get a kick out of it. If anybody's a fan, let us know, and you could be a guest on that show, which is the show that spawned this show.
We haven't done guests on Invincipod, but anyone's welcome if you guys want to join us.
Yeah, we have had a few guests. We've had Johnny and Vactor, and
of course we have. All right, guys. Thank everyone for joining us. Thank you all the people in the chat. There's been conversation going on over there, which has been really nice, but there's been a lot going on here, so I've not been able to keep up with it too much. But thank you all for joining us all season long. We will see you all sometime in the future. Pay attention to the socials to keep an eye on where we're going to be and when. But until next time, that's Ralph's best friend.
It's Misa's best friend.
Yeah.
A picture of Jar Jar on the wall says so. It's signed by
Misa no have a boomba.
They just announced the
I
Keller
love
and
Jar Jar.
Beck card for Star Wars Unlimited, and it looks really good. All right.
Nerds.
Boom the gasser.
The boss
thanks
is
for
hate
joining
bloomer.
us. I don't know how we sign off the show anymore. Don't give in to hate.
Celebrate the love.
Punch
Lord
it.
Gullet.
Moi moi.
That
We're
works.
gonna let